Whether you are new to the game or are coming back from a break, I think this is the perfect time to start playing Yu-Gi-Oh! So I am sure you all have seen these videos about, oh, I quit Yu-Gi-Oh! Why I'm not playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Anymore? I am going to quit Yu-Gi-Oh! Forever. Which honestly, I think all Yu-Gi-Oh! Players never quit. They just take a long break or a short break, but they will always find their way back. So now I want to flip the script and discuss why I think now is the best time to start playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And you might be thinking, this guy have only been playing for 2-3 years, what does he know? But actually, I used to play back in the days when Teledat, Lightsworn, Six Samurai were very popular. I remember Dark and Dragon costing like $250 a pop. We had price cards that cost like $2,000 to $3,000. Actually, one of my best Yu-Gi-Oh! Memories was pulling a Dark and Dragon out of a booster pack. And I may not have played long enough, but I did play long enough to see how expensive Yu-Gi-Oh! Was back then. So with that being said, let's go over reason number 1 why I think it is the best time to duel. I believe that casual, fun, and semi-competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Is actually very affordable. And I will break this down into 3 parts. Part 1, structure decks. The Blue Eyes structure decks is one of the best, if not the best structure deck that have ever been released, in my opinion. Not only you have the chance to pull a quarter century card that actually can cost a decent amount of money, you can get 3 structure decks, jump into a local tournament, have fun, and with some solid knowledge and some luck, you can actually get some wins. Also, this structure deck comes with incredible staples such as Ash Blossom, Fake Veiler, Infinite Permanence, Nibiru, Called by the Grave, which are cards that even the best players are currently using. Additionally, there's a Fire King structure deck, which Dinkabui used to win a YCS. Yes, you heard me right, a YCS. Of course, in order to take it to that level, you will need to add some extra cards that may cost a little bit of money. However, if you take out the expensive cards, I think you can still top some regionals or locals. Other options are the Trap Trick structure deck, the Fallen of Alba structure deck, or the Dark Wall structure deck. All 3 offer very fun strategies that can help you get into the game and make you start playing right away. Part 2, you can build competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Decks at a very low cost. With the new Stampede core set or Rarity Collection 4 or however you want to call it coming out soon, you will get the chance to get your hands on some of the best decks of the format for an affordable price. One example is my all-time favorite deck, the undisputed best deck, according to me and some other of course, Atlantean Mermail. With the reprint of Abyss Gaios and Abyss Spike, this deck becomes extremely affordable. Which, by the way, if you are interested in playing it, I invite you to check my other videos for a comprehensive guide. Another example is Memento. With the reprint of Enwich and Bone Party, this deck becomes extremely cheap. It becomes basically millo. That's our slang word for bulk, let's put it that way. This is a very powerful deck that I am actually looking forward to mastering because it is doing very well in the OCG. Another very powerful option I want to give you guys is Crystron. It is very powerful, it is doing very well in the TCG and in the OCG as well. I think it is a great investment, especially because I don't think it will get touched anywhere soon. Of course, you can also find some other rogue options such as Branded, Melodious, Purely, Orcus, Kashtira, Goblin Biker, Voiceless Voice, Ice Barrier, and my 2 other favorite decks, Ritual Beast and Dragon Link. I know there's probably some other options, but these are the ones that came to my mind. Oh, I also recalled Sprite and Exodia. Exodia has some expensive card, but yes, you can play Exodia in a deck. And part 3 is basically something that I already touched a little bit, is that all staples have been reprinted.
Like I said, Nibiru, Ash Blossom, Impermanence, Effect Veiler, Called by the Grave, Dark Rule and Rumor, Solemn Judgment, Solemn Strike, DD Crow, Ghost Ogre, Growl and Luckbear, Triple Tactics Thrust, Triple Tactics Talent, SP Little Knight, IP, Access Code Talker, all the Charmies, XYZ Anchor, Forbidden Droplet, I don't know if I mentioned that already.
And 2 of the most recent staples that basically changed the game, the Mulcharmies. Mulcharmy Purulia already got reprinted in the last set, and Mulcharmy Fuwalos will get reprinted in the new Stampede. I know some of the staples are still a little bit expensive. The Mulcharmy cards will always be around 15 to 20 bucks, who knows, maybe more in the future. Triple Tactics Talent and Triple Tactics Thrust are still a little bit expensive, but they are definitely way better than before. Reason numero 2 why I think this is the best time to get into Yu-Gi-Oh! Is because I think we have a fair best deck of the format. For new players, Ryziel might feel oppressive, but I think not as overwhelming as Tearlament, Snake Eyes, or Cashtira when Diablosis was not banned. I know a lot of us are tired of Ryzel, but I think it is mostly because it has been dominating the format for a couple of months now. It is quite beatable and it tends to end on a very interactive board. Except when they end on Dweller and you're playing Atlantean Mermail. Anyways, I think we have a reasonable varied format with a fair tier 1 deck. Reason number 3 why I think this is the best time to get into Yu-Gi-Oh! Is because there are a lot of free-to-play simulators. I know you have options like Dueling Book and Edo Pro, which are great for testing for the TCG and competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! In general, but to be honest with you guys, my personal favorite is Master Duel. Even though I'm not a big fan of the format because of Snake Eyes. Please Konami, ban some Snake Eye cards. Master Duel was actually what brought me back into Yu-Gi-Oh! It is a fantastic platform to learn interactions, how to order your chains, learn new decks, and while it can be a little bit behind when it comes to the TCG format, it is still quite similar. Also, I know there's a lot of things to improve in that platform, but I think it have gotten better over the years. The Sky Striker mode they added in the solo mode were amazing. The short clip they added were just incredible. So yeah, if you want to get back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Just download Master Duel, and I think it is a good way to start playing. Reason number 4 is that I think there's information and content out there of every single deck. Whether it is deck profile, in-depth guide, combos, how to play, you can find everything about every single archetype, I think. This makes learning a new deck so much easier than before. You can even hire coaches or buy spreadsheets just to learn a single deck. So yeah, I think there are just so many resources out there and information that it is just easier than ever. Reason number 5 on why I think this is the best time to get back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Ties back to reason number 1, I think, is the nostalgic return for all the Yu-Gi boomers out there. You can play Blue Eyes White Dragon competitively. There's nothing quite iconic than special summoning Blue Eyes White Dragon and attacking for game. It is just an incredible feeling. It brings back so many memories from the anime and from playing back in the days. So if you are thinking on whether or not you should start playing, just buy 3 structure decks and start playing. So that's basically it for today, guys. I think Konami is doing a decent job on making the deck more affordable for budget players. Of course, if you are wanting to play the game competitively, the game becomes expensive. But I think what game or hobby is not expensive when you are starting to play it competitively. For example, a simple sport might be cheap at first sight, but once you start playing it competitively, you will always want to have the best gear. You want to start getting classes, coaching, and all of a sudden the sport becomes expensive. And I think that's what happened with Yu-Gi-Oh! You start budget, but once you start competing and wanting to get more Ws, that's when the games becomes more expensive. And I know Konami still has a lot of things to improve, specifically the prices and the event streaming. I know those are things that they definitely need to change and make them better. But let's just not talk about that in this video. So let me know in the comments down below, what do you guys think? Do you guys agree or disagree? Whether or not this is the best time to get into Yu-Gi-Oh! Like always, hasta la próxima. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe.